Hello there and welcome. This is of course Nick Dutch back again one more time. Hi there, how the heck's it going, as I often say. It's the afternoon, nearly 1 o'clock, and outside, thanks to my wonderful digital indoor and outdoor thermometer, I can tell you it's a nice balmy 0 degrees Celsius, which is of course a lot warmer than the minus 3.3 that was registering at 9 o'clock. Welcome to winter. It's delightful. In some ways it is, the frost on the cobwebs outside was really rather beautiful, so there's good things and there's bad things if you get my drift. I just got through watching the Coxopus Prime video about the war on Christmas, and I have to say that quite frankly, these conservative fundamentalist evangelical type Christians that you have in America are of course totally insane. And sometimes that can make me feel glad to be British, but on the other hand, we also have that creeping ideology steadily developing in this country too, so we're not completely immune either in this part of the world. But that's a side issue. I guess I wanted to talk more about like myself and my mission here on YouTube and basically what I've been trying to do, because I do get the occasional private message which kind of like asks the question: is there something wrong with you, Nick? I mean, why is it that what I say and what I do are in contradiction? Well, the only way that you have access to what I am and what I'm about is through my YouTube blog. And I've been trying to help people. That was basically the goal all along, to try and remove some of the stupidities of a literalism and all the rest of that that has creeped into any form of New Age thought. Okay, to the point whereby New Age religion has become just as bad as this fundamental Christian stuff. So I've been putting videos out there which have been there to attract people with certain values. Okay, that's what a lot of it was about. That's why I video the Ouija board seances, or one of the many reasons, because I don't do something just for one reason. Okay, there's many more than one reason. There's a whole like spectrum of trying to encourage like transdeist thought, for instance, is another one. And also, let's be honest, for each and every single one of us YouTube users who are, who have advertising enables, this is part of our income, this is part of our job. So we try and create stuff which is attractive for people to want to watch. So I'm trying to bridge the gap between promoting transdeism as well as taking people who are too literalistic and too fundamentalistic already within New Age thought, which should be a contradiction in terms, but which these days isn't, because the whole friendly New Age movement is completely out of control. And try and take all these strands of thought and try and put them together into one video blog. So it is a bit of a mess. It's not one simple singular message. But if the videos which I've done, let's say on pendulum dowsing, on Ouija board, and some aspects of tarot, that attracts you because you've got some like kind of objective belief, and then hey presto, another video comes along which challenges your faith-based position, then that's a good thing. Because I've always said the same thing, that there are strange experiences which can happen, but the strange experiences don't always mean what the strange experiences suggest, and we should have progressed as a group of people beyond thinking that, oh, something happened on the Ouija board, therefore, hey presto, that's objective proof that ghosts really exist, and therefore the beliefs or the values of one particular person are therefore confirmed and justified. Alright, because people look out for justification, don't they? They think that something's right or something's wrong, and they look out for things that make them feel better because it confirms that point of view. And that can happen with products that you can buy, for instance. Alright, you might want to, let's say you're looking at a food blender and you've just suddenly seen this one on the internet and you think it's a really good thing and you're just like gearing yourself up to buy it, and then you see another couple of reviews which say no, it's crap, the handle breaks off and it doesn't do what it's supposed to and the rest of it. But then you see another couple which sort of confirm your belief, and the thing inside you which says I want this to be true will then pay more attention maybe to the more optimistic interpretations of what this food mixer, food blender, or whatever it is you want to buy is basically trying to say. Now this happens a lot with people's faith-based positions, alright? That's why, there's there's intellectual dangers. It also happens with political points of view. It also happens with scientific points of view. It happens with anything that people can have some kind of arguments about, or there is some kind of controversy with. All right? I'm trying to remove some of the controversy. I'm trying to get people to apply the good standards of knowledge, the good standards of useful information that you might get from certain schools of business thinking, as well as good standards of scientific thought applied to strange apparent phenomena. All right? That's it. All right? We have the potential to end up just as bad, if not worse, than these fundamentalist, literalist, charismatic, evangelical weirdos who, during this war on Christmas, the war, what wouldn't be war on Christmas? It's the most important commercial time of the year. I mean, for crying out loud's sake, St. Nicholas has been changed to suit commercial myths. We got a number of different theological traditions running alongside. We got one which says that St. Nicholas comes from, or came from, present-day Turkey, and was present in the Council of Nicaea and kicked the shit out of Arius, who had a competing theology, and that's why St. Nicholas stands for, legitimate theology, so to speak, as well as the fact that he bought women out of prostitution. Therefore, the sack on Santa's back is actually supposed to be a representation of the bag of money that was given to buy women out of prostitution. Okay, and so for that reason, he became the saint of charity and the saint of children and all that kind of stuff. But of course, now he's turned into this overweight individual who only works 1 day a year, unlike the rest of us. Right? Who just like spends all his time eating mince pies and drinking other people's sherry and I mean, come on. But it's two different traditions. Does he come from Turkey? Does he come from the North Pole? They're essentially two different ideological religious strains of thought, and some people say that St. Nicholas or Father Christmas is from the North Pole because that's the religious interpretation they believe in. I actually once knew this guy who was very red-faced, very broadly built, very large. Well, he was fat, okay, seriously fat, and he had a big, long, white beard. And he said that one day he was in Tesco's just buying some eggs and some bread and milk, the rest, Tesco's being our supermarket here in England. And he was approached by someone who basically wasn't all that well and said, "Are you Father Christmas?" Right? Because this was someone whose brain wasn't functioning properly because they were too ill, and they saw this big, fat, jolly, red-faced person with a big white beard, and boom, connected the ideas. So this is the way that people like to think. I mean, we can look at the minds of like really, really mad people, and they're only mad because they got some parts of the brain which the rest of us have working, which they don't have working. But essentially, if you remove those parts or like lessen their power, then essentially all the mad bits will start to have an effect. People latch on to ideas. That's my point here. They latch on to ideas and look for confirmation of those points of view. It isn't all that healthy, all right? And we need to do more. All right? It's what I've been saying all along, so I'm going to carry on saying. And I'm going to carry on doing things to attract people to this video blog so that I can then do videos afterwards which then challenge those points of view one way or another, because that's part of who I am and what I'm about. Alright? It's what I've been doing sort of like spontaneously, but it's becoming more heavily formulated now. So this video blog will have different qualities of interest, different qualities of people, and will carry on helping to inspire people, change people's minds, sort out their heads, and try and do some good. Because we all have power. Okay, with the moment you're broadcasting, you've got an audience, you've got power, and it's a question of using that power wisely. That's all I wanted to say right now. Okay. And the weather outside is frightful. The fire is quite delightful. Ain't got no place to go. And the sky is almost looking like snow. So, yeah!